All right, the group end top hats came in, so I don't have the bigger wrenches or the new breaker bar. Those aren't here yet, but I am going to see how much of the front suspension I can get off before I run into a stopping place, and I figure when I'm at a stopping place, that's just where I'll call it. I did also take the opportunity to get the car jacked up, so it's on jack stands at all four corners. That way I can do all the other work I want to do, hopefully in one shot while the car is up. This is actually not that bad to jack up. It's easier than the Spider. Well, after I learned how to jack up the Spider, it wasn't that bad, but this isn't as low as the Spider, and it has a lot more jack points, so not too bad. I've already sprayed penetrating spray on everything pretty much in the front suspension, so we're just gonna let it soak for a couple minutes, and then we're gonna start working to get it out. All right, these ones went a lot easier. Let's see if it can grab that. I don't think it will because my face is in the way. There we go. So these bolts came out a lot easier. I think it's kind of cool that the stock WRX has a cam bolt or camber bolt up front. So that'll be kind of nice. Whoop, grab it. So yeah, everything came out a lot easier. It was still kind of corroded, and I don't love the condition that some of these bolts are in. I don't know if you'll be able to see this one. Let me see if I can get to focus on it. Yeah, this one doesn't look very good. But, I mean, overall, not too bad. So this side, I got everything disconnected. So now I'm going to try to get the strut out the top, and we'll see what happens. Got everything off, didn't go too bad. As far as the condition of everything, at least this front strut doesn't appear to be completely blown. Like I can't just push it down. Actually, I kind of can. Yeah, I take that back. The strut's pretty worn out. But I think the biggest issue I found is I'm not a suspension expert, but I think there's supposed to be a bump stop in there, and there wasn't. So if I've been riding around on this car with no bump stops, or the previous owner was, I'm sure this thing is worn out quicker. I mean, the spring still seems like it's fine. I kind of wish it wasn't the winter so I could clean it up a little bit nicer. Obviously, that's just for cosmetic reasons, but yeah, spring seems okay. The strut doesn't seem like it's in great shape. It probably does need to be replaced. And there's no bump stop, so this should definitely be a step up. Now, the Group N top hat, which is this one, let's see, will it focus on that? It wants to focus on me. Okay, the Group N top hat looks good. I didn't realize how similar the stock top hat looked. I'm pretty sure these are different. They've got different numbers on the top of them, and there are like a few differences on the underside, but they look pretty similar. So I guess it's possible maybe these are older Group N ones I'm replacing with newer ones, or the Group N ones don't look that much different, but yeah, these ones are pretty worn out regardless, so I'll definitely be replacing them. So next I'm going to put the new one together. So the AGX struts have 4 levels of adjustability. I think I'm going to put them at 2 front and 2 rear. I don't really know what that feels like, but I figure that's going to be like a good middle of the road thing, because supposedly the 1 setting is a little bit stiffer than stock. But I believe these springs might be a little bit stiffer too. I'm not sure. Or they could be stock springs. I actually kind of hope they're stock springs because that's what I need for street class and autocross. But either way, 1 or 2 on the AGXs should be pretty good to start. And then once I get it out on the track and see how it does, you know, I'll make adjustments from there. But now I'm going to get the strut, put it together, and let's see how easy it goes back on. Now, it's going to be hard to see, but there's like some notches on the top of this top bolt here. And when you turn it, you can watch the camber of the whole rest of the wheel assembly change. So I've got it to where the notches are pointing to the back, which has angled this top inmost here. Actually, I'll turn it so you can see. Watch right here. Try to get my hand as out of the way as I can. See? This is actually, again, it's going to be very hard to see, but there's a little notch right at the top. And that lines up with another notch on the strut. And that should give us, from what I read online, close to a degree of negative camber, which is about as good as you can get with stock bolts, which isn't bad. So I'm going to go ahead and torque these back up. Bad news. Here, let me pick this up here. I lost one of the nuts. I can't believe I did that. It fell down somewhere in here and I can't find it. So I'm going to put everything else back together, but I'm not going to be able to put that nut back on until I find it or I get another one. So that is the next thing I've messed up today. All right, hopefully this illustrates why I want to switch scoops. You can see how massive the stock one, or sorry, how massive the one that came in the car is. That's not stock. That's a stock scoop. To me, that looks about 150 times better. It looks like the mounting holes line up from the little bit I checked when I was taking it off the car. So I'm gonna mock it up now and see if it works. The under hood splitter, I guess you call it, like an air diffuser that directs air onto the intercooler. I don't see how that mounts up, at least to my aftermarket hood, so I'll check on that in a few minutes. But first, yeah, I'm gonna try to mock this up. I don't have fasteners to hold it down. We'll have to get those, which we can do, but I just wanna see if it works so I can theoretically keep the hood that's on there now, not have to source a new hood, as long as I can get paint for this. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, if the rest of the hood works and is okay, it may not be a bad idea to make this scoop black. It might go well with the other black stuff I've got in the front of the car, and if that doesn't work out, it certainly will match better than silver until I get a chance to get it paint matched. All right, positives, negatives. Let's talk about it. So, first thing is, this is a big upgrade. I like this a lot more. Ignore the fact that it's silver. It fits pretty well. So, got 4 studs stuck through it. And those holes will line up. And if I can figure out a few more, I can probably fit a few more. So that part's good. Not so good fitment. It's really close, but it is not perfect. So I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do about that yet, but obviously we got to fix that. I'm thinking maybe some like good weather stripping all the way around might do it, just something to bridge that gap a little bit, if you can see like that. It's honestly not bad once I get some clamps on it and some nuts to hold it down. I think I can make that work. It'll be close enough that the average person will never notice, and if I put some good weather stripping on it, it should actually look decent. That's not to say I'll never switch to an OEM hood, like if the fitment issues annoy me. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and I would prefer the car be right, but I'm viewing this build as a process, which means I probably won't be done the first time, you know, I put something on there. I just can't stand to look at that ugly stock thing over there. I mean, not stock. Thing that came with the car. It's not stock. Subaru would never do that. To anybody who has this hood and likes that scoop, you're entitled to your opinion, but I just don't understand how you can possibly like it. So In other news, slightly more positive. Well, actually, I mean, that's positive, but other updates. Got the replacement shifter. Let's compare the length. Huge. Although, of course, it has to sit all the way down in there. But obviously, this is a pretty significant difference. And I'm excited because it should be a lot better. Or at the very least, it just won't be so short. It can be as stiff as it was if I have the more leverage of having the longer shifter, and it's not so short. I don't know. I don't think there's anybody so short that they prefer the height of this one. Maybe I just don't know. Other updates for the interior. Found somebody who's selling dark blue carpet, not the STI blue. I guess I'm thinking it's about the same color as the blue door cards or the seats. So I'm going to buy that and replace the stock carpet. Let me see. I don't think there's any other big updates to the interior. Also got a new badge for the front. Not a new one, but a badge from someone else. It's black, which is going to be pretty awesome. That'll be a future video. I mean, that's very far down my priority list. Does anybody know what's up with this mirror? If you remember, I showed it in the What's Wrong with the Car video. It has some stupid other mirror taped over it. I'm hoping I can just replace that with a stock Subaru mirror. And in typical Subaru fashion, my guess is it's the same exact mirror that's on like Foresters and regular Imprezas and Outbacks and everything else, but future project. And then with that, with the shifter, same guy was selling a stock surround that does not have the silver STI ring on it, so I got to clean it up, but that should look nice, and then I can sell or give away the one that came with the car. So all in all, very positive. I've got more stuff on the way, more used parts, a few new parts, a few things are broken. Okay, not much of an update. It's just been a couple days, haven't really been able to do much with the car, but some new parts came in the mail. So from people on Naziok, that's where the scoop was in that. Here is stock airbox, intake silencer, I believe is what that is. Turbo heat shield, and there's some hardware in there too, so that's awesome. Also, a much bigger breaker bar to replace the one that I broke. It's not going to focus on it. I don't have enough hands. You can't really tell how big it is, but this is a 24-inch breaker bar. Also, some wrenches, since my regular wrench set only goes up to, I think, 16 millimeters. Had to get some bigger ones of that. Got some half-inch extensions because I don't have those. And I got some wobble extensions from a 1/4 inch, 3/8, and a 1/2 inch. So that should help out a lot with some of the stuff I'm working on, just being able to get to it a little bit easier. So not much has changed over here. One bad thing, the guy I was talking to about the interior carpet, it looks like from where he is, it's going to cost like $100 to ship the carpet here. So I'm probably going to see if I can find something cheaper somewhere else. Oh, the box of stuff I got also includes replacements for those side markers there. So yeah, that's about it. That's all of an update I got for now. Still don't know what I'm going to do with that, but just going to keep working. Another thing that's different, you may not be able to tell from just looking at this video clip right here, but I got the Canon EOS M lens adapter, so I can use my regular EOS lenses, or EF lenses. It looks absolutely ridiculous. I'm going to take a shot with my phone just so you can see how tiny the camera is compared to everything else. And that's just a Canon 17 to 40 millimeter L lens. Pretty basic wide angle and really dated. Got to remember to stop looking at the screen. It's pretty dated by modern standards, but it's not a bad lens at all. So